Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is John. Today we're going to help you build your Mammoth bolt-down basketball system with a 54-inch tempered glass backboard. This video will follow steps outlined in your instruction manual that comes with the system. If you've already begun or you need help on a specific step, check the comments or description below for a timestamp associated with each step. Your system comes in several boxes, but those boxes will be inside one big crate, so let's take a look at what you should have received. Because of the size and weight of this product, we highly recommend that you read all the safety warnings in the instruction manual before you begin building. Failure to do so can result in serious injury or property damage. This assembly requires 3 people, and some steps require 6 people. So make sure you have enough people available. Now let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You'll need 2 15/16 wrenches, 2 9/16 wrenches, 2 3/16 Allen keys, which are included, 1 shovel, 1 ladder, a flathead screwdriver, 1 pair of pliers, a rubber mallet, a tape measure, safety glasses, a drill, 21 80-pound bags of concrete, 4 lengths of 36-inch rebar, a level, and a pencil. To make this easier, we're going to use a 3/16 Allen bit, socket adapters, 15/16 socket, and a 9/16 socket. All right, let's get started. For section 1, we've created a separate video on how to properly prep an area to anchor down your system. The link for that video is in the description below. Keep in mind it takes a minimum of 3 days prep time before you can set up your system. You must allow adequate time for the concrete mix to completely cure. Do not proceed with this build until you have followed all the steps outlined in section 1 in your instruction manual. If you have questions about this section, feel free to contact our customer service team. We've already taken care of the prep work for this section, so we're going to move on to the next section. Secure a bolt and a washer to one end of the 8.54-inch coupling pin. Now you're going to take the lower extension arm and position it on the pole, making sure that the holes line up. Make sure the holes on the lower extension arm are towards the bottom. Now secure the lower extension arm to the pole with the hardware, making sure you have a spacer between both poles. Secure a bolt and a washer to one end of the 5.8-inch coupling pin. Now you're going to attach the upper extension arms to the pole with the hardware. Attach a bolt and a washer to one end of the 5.8-inch coupling pin. Now you're going to attach the handle to the pole with the hardware. Secure a bolt and a washer to one end of the 1.6-inch coupling pin. Now you're going to attach the gas spring to the pole, but first we need to remove the zip tie off the gas spring. Before you attach to the pole, make sure that the hole in the plastic is lined up with the hole in the gas spring. Now you're going to attach the gas spring to the lower set of holes on the pole bracket. If you have a hard time getting the pin to go through, go ahead and tap it with a mallet. Make sure that the actuator is oriented like this. Attach a bolt and a washer to one end of the 8.54-inch coupling pin. Now you're going to attach the lifter arms to the lower extension arms using the end with one hole. The spacers go in a specific order, so be sure to follow along. Secure a bolt and a washer to one end of the 1.6-inch coupling pin. Now you're going to attach the lifter arm to the handle with the lower set of holes, making sure the spacers go on either side of the lifter arms. Take the other 1.6-inch coupling pin and secure a bolt and a washer to one end. Now you're going to attach the other lifter arm to the handle using the same method as you did before. Now you're going to take the pin cover clip and slide it all the way up on the trigger bracket, making sure the notch is facing up. Slide the actuator in between the trigger brackets, insert the pin, and slide the cover over the pin. Secure a bolt and a washer to one end of the 5.4-inch coupling pin. Now you're going to connect the gas spring and the lifter arm using these set of holes. Insert the spacers in between the gas spring and the lifter arms. Attach a bolt and a washer to one end of the 6.7-inch coupling pin. Before you go any further, make sure you have another person available to hold the system for the rest of the build to prevent serious injury. And now we're going to attach the backboard to the lower extension arms. This step can be very difficult, so to make it easier, we're going to push the handle up and lower the lower extension arms. With the help of at least two other people, lift the system up so you can slide the backboard underneath and align the holes in the bracket with the lower extension arm and attach with the hardware. Now we're going to attach the upper extension arms to the backboard it may be easier to have somebody lift the base of the system to align the holes on the backboard. Repeat the previous steps for the other extension arm. Now you're going to put your locking washer and your USS washer on the exposed J-bolts. Keep in mind the system is very heavy, so you'll need at least 6 people to move the system for the next few steps. Move the system so that the slots in the base line up with the bolts closest to your plate area. Slowly and carefully lift the system so that the slots go over the exposed bolts, being careful not to damage the threads. Now that the assembly is upright, have 2 people hold the system so you can check that it's level. Take a carpenter's level and put it on the side and the front of the backboard. To level the system, you either need to tighten or loosen the bottom 2 bolts as needed. Our system doesn't have it, but normally there would be a center locking nut that you would raise to touch the bottom of the plate. Now you're going to place the nylon caps on the J-bolts. Now attach a bolt and a washer to one end of the 1.6-inch coupling pin. Lower the backboard and attach the rubber bumper to the upper set of holes on the pole bracket. Now attach a padlock to the actuator to prevent the hoop from moving. Now you're going to take a washer and place it onto the bolt. Now you're going to take the hardware from the previous steps and insert it to the upper holes on the rim. Now you're going to take the rim and insert the bolts into the upper set of holes on the backboard, having someone secure with the hardware on the backside. Finish attaching the rim to the backboard by inserting the hardware through the lower set of holes. Adjust the tension of the springs so that the rim doesn't wobble by tightening the nuts. Attach the rim cover plate to the rim using the hardware. Now you can attach the net to the rim. Raise the backboard until the top of the rim measures 10 feet from the playing surface. Once the backboard's been raised to 10 feet, go ahead and place the sticker right below the plastic cover on the gas spring. Thanks for watching our video of how to assemble a Lifetime Mammoth bolt-down basketball system with the 54-inch tempered glass backboard. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other awesome products at lifetime.com.